Hello, everyone. Welcome. How are you all? Hope you are fine. In this video, we will discuss Against the Gods. Chapter 7. Frozen Cloud, Immortal Palace. Was destroyed? Xiao Che frowned. Ever since he was a child, his grandfather and everybody else all said that he was born with a damaged, profound vein. He even believed that himself when he got his memories of rebirth back, since his memories included the mastering of all the medical books in during his lifetime. But Xiaqing Yui said he wasn't born with a damaged, profound vein, but instead it was damaged by an external force. In truth, no one in the Zhao clan had been able to see through this guise. Xia Qingyu had only looked at him within a few breaths of time, and to her, that fact was as clear as crystal. This woman, yes, Xiao Qingyue creased her eyebrows and gently spoke. It was heavily damaged during your childhood, and your family did not notice. Because of that, it was never repaired, and now that you have already grown up, the damaged, profound vein has fully formed into its disabled state and lost all hopes of repairment. Xia Qingyue said that last statement with absolute confidence. If an adult's profound vein became damaged, their power would leak, but there were a variety of methods to repair that. However, if the profound vein broke in the early stages of infancy, the growth of the vein would start from a bad foundation and will only become worse. At Xiao Che's age, the vein had already become badly shaped, so it was impossible for it to be repaired back to normal. Xiao Che's expression did not change and simply said, "That may not necessarily be true." Xia Qingyu gently inclined her head to glance at him. "Looks like you always had the notion of repairing your profound vein." "I'll definitely fix it," Xiao Che said blankly. Xia Qingyu looked at him deeply. She saw not only confidence and arrogance, but a deep layer of coldness in his eyes. She sighed in her heart and softly spoke. "The profound sky continent is a big place with numerous amounts of talented people. Perhaps there really may exist a person who can repair your damaged vein. I should not have said what I had said earlier with such assertion. You can just take it as my ignorance." In those few words, Xiao Che's impression of her improved dramatically. He hesitated, then asked, "The icy cold power you used earlier, what was that? I have never heard of anyone in Floating Cloud City with that skill. Your master is not a person from Floating Cloud City, am I right? Of course, it's up to you whether or not you want to tell me." Xia Qingyu was silent for a while, and right when Xiao Che thought she would not answer, she calmly replied, "Frozen Cloud Arts." Frozen Cloud Arts? Xiao Che slightly shivered at the name as he felt a vague sense of familiarity. When he suddenly remembered the name of the concept, his paled and words uncontrollably escaped from his mouth. Frozen Cloud, Immortal Palace? Xia Qingyue tilted her beautiful head and looked at Xiao Che with a surprised expression. When he shouted out Frozen Cloud, Immortal Palace, Xiao Che had already lost his cool, but in her eyes, he was still too calm. Even if the Lord of Floating Cloud City heard that name, his body will weaken and his legs would tremble in fright. She lightly said, "My master is indeed from Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace, so I can be regarded as a disciple of Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace. This fact, the only person in Floating Cloud City who knows of that is my father. You are now the second. I tell you this, because you are my husband now, and this is the most basic of my respect for you." Xiao Che's racing heartbeat could not calm down. The words Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace burst into his heart like a huge bomb, because it was the one of the most powerful four major sects in Blue Wind Empire and also the holy land of that many yearn and long to be in. Even the Blue Wind Empire's royalty must worship their transcendent existence annually. Heavenly Sword Villa, Frozen Cloud, Immortal Palace, Xiao Sect, Burning Heaven Clan. Out of the 7 countries in Profound Sky Continent, the Blue Wind Empire was currently the smallest. Although they had the lowest overall strength, they have never been annexed by the other countries. A large part of the reason why was because of those 4 major sects. Those powers that be are not afraid of the Blue Wind Empire's strength, but instead fear the 4 major sects. There is no doubt about the strength of those 4 major sects. The process in which they recruit disciples was very strict, and they did not care about background in their selections. The most important thing they want in the end was talent. Everyone living in the Blue Wind Empire dream and aspire for that kind of great fortune. If you get into one of these major sects, even the lowest of disciples will bring honor and prosperity to their family. They would even be the guests of honor at court and be presented with the rank of a marquis. No one of this little floating cloud city had ever heard of anyone being admitted into one of those major sects, and no one would even dare dream about it. If the previous Xiaoche heard the names of the four major sects, it would be like hearing the existence of the heavenly sky kingdom. He would never have expected to be touched by those words. But he did not expect that the wife he had just married was one of the disciples of the top-ranked sect behind Heavenly Sword Villa, Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace. Xiaoche quickly calmed himself down and asked, "Since you are one of Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace's disciple, why don't your family reveal it to the public?" With your identity, Zheklan can freely walk through anywhere in Floating Cloud City and nobody would dare offend them. All the rich people, including the city's main clan, will seek to curry favor from you. The growth of your sea clan will also develop at a rapid pace. Because of you, Jia Qingyue answered. Because of me? Xiaoche stilled in silence. Those three words had reminded him why. I married you with the identity of a girl from Jia clan, and the entire city of Floating Cloud is in an uproar. If I married you within Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace's disciple status, not only our small city of floating clouds would be in an uproar, no matter what, there would be a lot of unpredictable consequences between you and my Jia clan. After all, the difference between you and I is far too vast. Xiao Qingyue said in a light voice with clear eyes. Although she only stood there silently, she was already brilliantly dazzling. Xiaoche slowly let out a sigh. Then, why did you marry me? You know precisely why. My life was saved by Uncle Xiaoying. I am the reason why he died during an assassination attempt soon after. Since I was born, my father arranged a marriage between us in order to repay Uncle Xiaoying's kindness. Although it was my father's promise, I have no reason to disobey him. And thus I have no reason to not marry you. Jia Qingyu raised her glittering cold eyes. The reason why I told you that I belong to Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace was to let you know that in order for me to continue to practice the Frozen Cloud arts, my heart must be like a frozen cloud. Frozen Cloud. Immortal Palace only accept women, and they must be pure and uncontaminated for life. Although I did marry you, I cannot love anyone in this lifetime. You must understand my commitment. For even if you aren't a disciple of the Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace, I don't think you would fall in love with me anyway, Xiaoche said with a self-deprecating smile. Xia Qingyu slowly shook her head. Maybe you have misunderstood me. I have never despised you nor have looked down on you. My master had told me many times that people of a higher level should never overlook someone else, nor underestimate them. Besides, I have just reached the starting point of my journey up. The profound sky continent respects the strong, so there are countless doctors around. Just because your profound vein was broken does not mean that your life is completely ruined. Xiaoche was moved. Floating Cloud City bragged about Xia Qingyu's beauty and talent, but perhaps nobody knew about the elegance in her state of mind that not even the countless number of middle-aged people in this world can achieve. And she was really only 16. After a few years, one could not imagine how she would be. No wonder she caught the fancy those from Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace. This woman with such beauty, talent, and mind of a fairy had really just became his wife not too long ago. It felt like that was only just a dream. If he did not have 2 lives worth of experience and memory, he would feel a sense of inferiority and could probably not even muster up the courage to look her in the eye. Thank you for telling me this, Xiaoche said with a passionate sigh. His eyes then became focused as his voice changed. Then, can you tell me the level of your current profound strength? Entering the 10th level of the elementary profound realm at the age of 16 was talent amazingly enough to stir the entire city of Floating Cloud. However, Xiaoche did not believe that Xia Qingyue was only at the 10th level of the elementary profound realm anymore, because this unrivaled level of talent in Floating Cloud City should not catch the eyes of those of Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace. Xia Qingyue became silent and did not answer Xiaoche's sudden question. However, her silence had indicated that her strength was higher than that of the 10th level of the elementary profound realm. You should go to the toast, Xia Qingyu slowly replied with a glint in her eye. As her voice fell, the sound of slow footsteps came from outside the door. Xiao Hong's old gentle voice came from the door. Young master, it is time for you to propose the toast. Grandpa Hong, I'll be right there, Xiao Che promised. With one last look at Xia Qingyue, and after patting his clothes of any dust, he walked out of the room. As soon as Xiao Che left, a bright ice aura surrounded the room, and a white figure dreamily appeared in front of Xia Qingyue. Xia Qingyue lightly stepped forward and spoke with a gentle and respectful voice. Master, Qingyue, do you wish to return to Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace with me? The beautiful, gentle voice was as misty as a cloud and as gentle as a breeze. It was enough to make even the world's coldest heart completely melt. Xia Qingyu gently shook her head. Master, Qingyu intends to stay a while. If I leave as soon as I got married, he will suffer even harsher of endless ridicules. I ask Master to give me a month's time, so I won't hurt him nor allow others to make fun of him by the time I leave. The woman dressed in white looked at her. After a while, she nodded slowly and smiled faintly. All right. It is the first time in hundreds of years that a Frozen Cloud Immortal Palace disciple was allowed to be married. Since it had been an exception, another month's worth of wait is nothing. Thank you for fulfilling my wish, Master. Xia Qingyu's body lowered again as she hesitantly whispered softly, Master, is it really impossible to repair his profound vein? The woman in white shook her head without delay. There are no such things as absolutes in this world. But at least to me, it seems to not be possible. Qingyue, it is good that you are a kind and compassionate person with a giving heart. However, I really cannot help you with this issue.